This tastes kind of unique. Anya, are you really sure this is green tea?
Absolutely, Gabriele. But the real question is, can you tell if it's Chinese or Japanese green tea? This is nannuoshan. I'm Anja.
And I'm Gabriele.
And today we dive into the fascinating world of green tea, and we want to compare different varieties between China and Japanese green tea. So firstly, let's start with the processing of green teas. However, if you are a newbie and you're not yet familiar with the different types of tea, there is a kind of a beginner level, very easy video that Gabriele made some time back where you can get information. However, if you have been a serious tea drinker with up to 30 years of experience like myself, this is where you are supposed to be. Right, so as I said, let's have a look at the processing. And processing consists of 3 steps. The first one is right after the harvest of the leaves. It's the heating to preserve the green color. And after that, the leaves are put into their shape, into their final shape. And at the end, for preservation, the leaves are being dried. So very easy 3 steps. And I can see somebody has a question here.
I have a question. If this video is about comparing Japanese green tea with Chinese green tea, shouldn't we be looking at the differences between the two rather than the commonalities? Because so far I understood that this heating, shaping, and what was drying is just the common process that accommodates all green tea, no matter where they come from.
Right, you totally got it. So up until now, we talked about the commonalities between all types of green tea. Okay, so these 3 steps apply to all green teas, but from now on, we want to focus on differences. And so one of the differences that I would like to mention is, again, concerning your processing, and it's the step of heating. Because if you look at China, you will see that in order to heat the leaves, people use woks, tumbles, and electrical machines. However, if you look at Japan, you will notice that in order to heat the leaves, they apply steam. So it's quite easy. In Japan, they use wet heat. However, in China, they use dry heat, like fire.
All right. So you mean like in Japan, they steam the leaves, which is kind of like we do pasta in Italy pretty much. So a wet heat source. And in China, they pretty much fire the tea like someone would cook in a pan. So more a dry heat.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think you got it.
But,
yes.
all right, but hold on. China has more than 1 billion people. And you want to tell me that there is not a single Chinese farmer that steam their green tea?
Well,
No one.
Well, actually there is one type. It's called the Enshi Yulu. You will find it in China. And it's a green tea that is steamed. And it's available in your shop.
Perfect, then I know where to buy it.
Great. So another difference that I would like to explain is also related to processing overall. And it's very interesting because if you will see the process in China, you will notice that people really do the whole process with their hands. So it's the the leaves are picked by hand, they are processed by hand, dried by hand, and so on. However, if you are in Japan, in the tea fields, you will notice that there's much more machines that do the job.
Okay. But then, I mean, now we've been speaking about this processing, understood there are differences in the processing, but I guess that if you process the tea in a different way, it should also taste differently, isn't it?
Exactly.
Because I have here two teas that I got under Anja's suggestion. We have a very precious, that's why it is in a golden pouch, Shihu Longjing. So it's a Longjing from Shihu, I guess.
Very good pronunciation.
Thank you. And then that's a Sencha. We have a Sencha here. So can you tell us a little bit about these two teas?
Yes, and I think it's really time also now to do some tasting. You will see when you open the pouches that already the shape will be quite different.
Okay, so I start with the Longjing. Let's see how it looks. It's flowing a little bit out. Okay, I can bring it a little bit closer to the camera. What can you tell us about this one?
So you will see that the leaves are quite flat actually, right?
Yeah, definitely they do. They are really flat here. And what about the Sencha?
So if we look at Sencha, you will notice that the shape is different and they are much more like needles.
Okay. And all right, I think we should get ready to brew those teas, isn't it?
Yes, sure, let's do it.
And all right.
So we can start with the Longjing.
Okay, and I have here. Is it okay? Actually, I have a guy one here. That's I was told is the name of this thing. Is it okay to use it for brewing?
I
or
see.
There are other methods. I don't know.
I see that you're a quick learner, and I'm happy that you brought it along. Because honestly, if you guys are doing the Western style brewing, I cannot help you. So this is very good because here we have the Gongfu-cha style, and yes,
Okay,
you are in
so
the right place.
I'm in the right place. All right, that's good. What is Western style?
Well, Western style, you know, it's just like your mom or your grandma prepares tea when you are sick. So it's like a big teapot, a lot of water, and throwing everything in.
All right.
This is a bit more delicate.
It's different. Okay. All right. So, how much leaves should I use? I have the Longjing here. So Chinese tea. How much leaves?
Right. So, I mean, I'm Anja. I'm not nannuoshan or Gabriele or anyone else who may be in the room. So myself, I would suggest you go with 4 grams per 100 milliliters.
And what do you think? This guy one, how much is it?
Yeah, it will be around 100 milliliters.
100? Okay.
Yes.
Good. Then I take 4 grams here. And what about the water temperature for Chinese?
Yeah, I suggest you go with 80 degrees.
80.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you can do a steep firstly of, let's say, 30 seconds. You can also do a second one again with 30 seconds, and then you can gradually increase up to a minute.
And I mentioned that this is very precious, so probably the farmer was not very generous and it gave us 3.2 grams. So I will put a little bit less water and I think then we are fine with that.
That's
so
good.
Here we go. All right, then let's look at the Sencha. What do you suggest as in terms of quantity of leaves here?
Right, so I think we go with less. So we take 2 grams.
2
Although
grams.
this pouch seems to be much bigger with more content.
Yeah, that's more. And actually for these I have this one here that I think is from Japan. And I measured it before, it's 75 milliliters. So you say 2 grams for 100.
Yes.
So we'll go here for 1.5. Okay. And what about the water temperature?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. If you're kind of new to green tea, You may don't like the bitterness that much, so I suggest you start with 60 degrees. However, if you have been into tea for a long time, especially green tea, you can directly go for 80 degrees. And then...
So you probably do, what, 90? Because with 30 years of
I can also
experience...
do 90 or 100,
you can boil
so-
it, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you can do 1 minute, and you can also show that here you can really see this needle shape that we talked before.
Let me try to show you in the camera here. Here are the needles.
Also, the color is quite different.
Because of the steaming?
Exactly.
Okay. Good. So let's look. Kettle, we said we go to 80 degrees and we see how they compare to each other. Really curious about that. Yeah. Do you have any favorite before we get started?
Well, I really like the sencha green tea. And I mean, we should mention just once more that here we have the most famous green teas from both countries. And so we can really expect a very good taste for both teas, very delicate for both. You will see in a minute that with the sencha, we're more on the refreshing side. Usually it's said it's a bit grassy. It can be a bit like, you know, the sea, smell of the sea. However, with the Chinese tea that we have here, it's warmer overall and more soothing, and it may be a bit nutty. But then you can tell me if you also smell this and if you can say which nut it is.
Wow, which nut? All right. So we said 1 minute 30 seconds. I have a timer in front of me, so I can do at least here the hard work in brewing everything. And this we said the 30 seconds, right?
That's correct.
So I think we are about there. With this one. And here we have almost there, almost 1 minute. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, the color is also fairly different. This one is a little bit brighter and greener, I would say. Just for you and the camera. This is, yeah, greener is more, let's say, more fleshy in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right.
I put here the longing, and let's see. So, what do you think I should start with?
Which one to start with? Let's start with the Longjing.
But before we start, if you are enjoying what Anja is saying, don't forget to like this video and to subscribe the channel if you haven't done if you haven't done so yet. Longing, you said.
I said Longjing, yes. Cheers.
Right, yeah, I see. I think I understand what you say when you say it's nutty. Like, to me, it's not very floral, it's not very fruity, so just by exclusion at least, I would say that nuttiness is what remains. It's very round and warming in a way. But honestly, what nut? So many nuts out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so easy. Maybe towards the end you get a bit of this taste.
Well done. I read that's the way to do it. Because if you put a lot of air, I've read that it works very well. Don't remember exactly what works very well, but it's fun. Oh yeah, it helps. Wow, chestnuts. Yeah, like
Very well done.
it's like when in every train station in Switzerland in winter you have always the chestnut guy that roast the chestnut and sell you 3 chestnuts for 5 francs. That's pretty much the taste. Probably the same price as this tea. Let's see the Japanese one. Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Interesting reaction there.
It's really nice. Yeah, very vegetal, grassy as you said, algae, seaweed. Yeah, it's 2 completely different teas. That's I have to say that. Yeah. Well, thank you for the tea class today.
You're most welcome. I
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed and
I really learned a lot. So yeah, thank you to Anja. Cheers to you guys, and don't forget, every cup is worth drinking if it's good tea.
cheers.
Yes, I learned so much today. I'm impressed.
See. You should have taken notes though.
Yeah, but I have good memory. I feel like I wrote the script.